Alright, hi everyone. Hopefully you've received your login information from Real Life. If you haven't, please email me back at adam@higherlevel.com.au. Otherwise, just check your spam. Sometimes it goes in there and it should be from Real Life Health. You guys have had the opportunity to come on and use the software as a trial. So what you need to do is click on the link. If not, go to reallifehealth.com. Alright, and this is where you're able to log in. So use the user information that you've got. So I'm just going to log in and show you guys a few steps that you need to make sure you've done to quickly get yourself set up and ready so that you can start running a competition or testing this out on real clients or using it as a value add for some of your real clients in the next week, if not few days, if you are a serious action taker. So I've logged in. It's taken me to my admin dashboard, and as you can see, I've got MiniMe logo in here, but what I'm about to show you is you can actually customize all this yourself. So if you want the software to look like it belongs to your business, and when your clients log in and go into the software via your website, you can customize it, have your own logo, have your own slogan, everything sitting within the software. Your clients never see the back end. This is what you see. First few steps to get set up is just go to settings and tools. Alright, take the time to go to master information. Now this is where you put in your business name. If it's different, it's only because I've only had limited information from you guys in terms of your company name, so don't worry about that yet. You can change it here. Your address, contact numbers, email address, website login, so that all that stuff will show up in the email system. If you have a logo that you want to upload, you can upload it here, and then that will be what will sit within the system. If you want to set up custom email and stuff like that, so that as people reply to your emails, they go directly to your server, you can do that. Quick things, that's the button right there. So literally you can copy and paste the button, and where we just logged in before on the real life website, you can have exactly the same thing on your website. And there's the bit of code here that you just need to copy and paste to put in to create it. So once you've done that, put your information in, you need to go to master preferences. This again is less than a 5-minute thing that you need to set up. By default, you'll see here you've got a few options in terms of what you want your clients to be able to see and have access to. To be able to run a transformation contest or competition, I would recommend that your clients can view things, but they can only edit their before and after photos. They're not actually able to edit any of the assessment side of things. If you want to disable, a few things, you can see here what's been ticked to be enabled. So which modules, so the cardio, nutrition, competitions, calendar, billing, everything else you can see here. You can choose client can view and print only, client can modify exercises, client has no restrictions. So this all depends what you want to use the software for. If you want them to be able to use it and do all their programming and edit things and everything else as like online training, then you'd want them to be able to modify their exercises. Client has no restrictions means they can edit and change everything. So if you know you're not going to be using the billing, the calendar, the cardio, the resistance side of things, and you just want to set somebody up on a competition, I would disable all of this and I would just leave nutrition and competitions in there. Okay, heading down here, configuration options, I've put here there's no restrictions on weight loss deficits. So the only reason I did that is because the system will default what they think is within a healthy range of somebody to have as a weight loss deficit in terms of calories, so or kilojoules, whichever system that you decide to use. So your choice, remove exercise calories from nutrition programs. So we don't need to worry about that at the moment because we haven't selected, if this is just for competitions, to have the cardio resistance programs in here, which means that what somebody's doing as a program outside of here won't affect what the system tells it needs in calories. If you want it to, then you need to include those. Okay, the other thing you can do from the nutrition point of view is you can go right here and change the macronutrient percentages. Alright, so this is the default percentages behind what you want to do. So if you believe that you want your clients to be having 60% carbohydrates, let's say 30% protein, 10% fats, or whatever ratios you want, you can set those here as default. Alright, you've got cardio assessment default options. Alright, within the competition, Alright, I've created a tracking system whereby your clients have points that sit on their member homepage where you can ask them to complete certain things and then you can associate an amount of points for them. Alright, and every transformation contest that I run, I have these questions here. We have a separate competition, so not only is it a transformation contest in terms of what we're tracking, weight loss or weight loss percentage or measurement change, but we have a competition in terms of consistency, so whereby however many points somebody receives, they have a chance to go into the running to win. We've given away a TV, an iPad, we give away gift vouchers for training, other value add things we get from other companies we work with, but you can set what you want these questions to be or what you want your clients to be doing on a consistent basis, and you can set the amount of points you want to associate with them. So definitely for competition, you need to have a good look at that and see what you are happy with and what sort of points you want to be using. Alright, strength assessment stuff, you can have a look at and set that, but from a purely setting up a contest or competition, you don't need to worry about that so much unless you want to include it. If you do, then I'm not going to go through that now, but just have a bit of a play with it. It's really simple. Alright, heading down a little bit lower, calendar. Once again, if you're going to be using it, you need to have a bit of a play, but we're not going to worry about it for now. Alright, same with group fitness, theme, color, everything else you don't need to worry about. So, pretty easy. Alright, we've been able to set whatever modules you want. You've been able to go in and do that. Like I said, if you wanted to disable something, I'm not going to do it now because it's going to change my system, but otherwise it's just a matter of unticking those things. Okay, something else we've put in here for you guys now is we've got some marketing material. So if you want some pieces to be able to put on some marketing stuff, you can do it. What I've done though within the MiniMe module is create specific marketing pieces to be able to run contests either 28 days, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks that you guys can literally take, edit, and get printed and sent out there. So in terms of setup, make sure you've put in your information in the master preferences, in the master information. Make sure you've selected what you want in your master preferences. Once that side of things is done, alright, the back end of the software is pretty much set up. Okay, what you need to do now, don't even worry about managing staff and clients at this stage. Alright, what we're going to go and have a look at is MiniMe. Alright, now MiniMe as a system is the transformation contest and competition system. So what I've done is I've created a whole series of things that you guys can take and plug in straight away. And on the flowchart that I've given you, everything that you need to do on that flowchart to get a competition up and running, you can find right on the back end of the software within the MiniMe modules. So let's go have a look at emails. If I click on emails, I've got a complete system here. So let's say I want to run a 28-day contest. Alright, there's a pre-sale series here that you guys can click on, download, edit, plug straight into your email system. If you want to use this email system, you can as well, which sits within the software. There's some setup emails, so showing the guys how to get set up, what they need to be doing to get the software set up, so that when they're ready to go into the contest, they're using nutrition and you don't have to do anything to help them set up as long as you're aware of what steps they need to do. And then there's an entire series here that once again you can edit to make more like yours, but I've tried to keep them pretty general. But there's a whole lot of things along each of the competitions in terms of tracking, mindset stuff, things that they should be thinking about in terms of their food, health, and nutrition without the competition that you can just plug in, schedule, and get going. Alright, in saying that too, all the emails are systemized so that it leads them in to signing up to your ongoing program. So there's multiple emails towards the end of the email series which you can have a read of, which literally guides them into or sort of funnels them into your normal program. So you don't even need to worry about creating things like that. The system's there. I've even put templates and stuff in there in terms of pricing and structures so that you can use that too. And then there's a final results email. So all of that is done and it all pops up on a separate page so that you can literally just delete it, go back. Alright, if we go to marketing material, alright, once you decide what length of term you want to do, I've come up with a few different marketing pieces. Alright, so if I click on 28 day again, you can see here I've got a missing person campaign for a guy, missing persons for a female, fat pants, you've got, have you seen you reduce milk, and Mini-Me just with the scale. So depending on what you want to use, you can literally download it. It's a PDF, but it's an editable PDF. So all you need is Acrobat Reader, and you'll be able to go in, edit it, and do it like that. And literally send them off to the printers and get them done. So you've got the marketing material, you've got the email series to get things up and running. In terms of resources, I have competition homework, so there's just an ab homework in there. There's also like a bodyweight blitz homework in there. There's some YouTube videos showing them how to do the exercises. Obviously it's me showing them how to do those things and explaining it. If you'd rather do that, you're more than welcome to do your own homework, but they're there as a template. Same with lesson plans. Alright, the lesson plans in here are set up as a boot camp or a large group session, so click on that, have a look at what you want to do. Same with group questions. Now these questions are designed to be asked to the groups so that they're in the sessions, you're creating a bit of a culture where everyone's in it together. They're discussing, why they're there, what goals they have, everything else. So it's a really great prompt to finding out a bit more information about your clients and making people feel comfortable, making them feel like they're part of a group that have a common goal. The other thing that we have in resources is we have forms. So if you want somebody to have a waiver form or like a liability form, that's in there, a food diary template's in there, and then I've got a whole series of articles here too. So if you want to use them to send out as emails in your pre-sale, if you want to post them up on Facebook, if you want to put them on your blog, you're more than welcome to rip them and go for it. Okay, once you've done all of that, alright, it's just a matter of literally starting to plug things in. So use the pre-sale, alright, use the flow chart that you'll have. Alright, I'm going to attach to the same email. It's also going to be in resources. To go through each one of the steps. Once you've done that and you're clear about how you're going to launch it and market it and set up a landing page, it's just a matter of coming in and now setting the competition up. Okay, so what you'll need to do, and you've got two choices here. If I go to manage staff and clients, alright, we have manage client management. Now when you see here, you'll see that I have an entire database of clients within the system. These are people that I've already entered. Okay, what you need to do now is add a new client. Alright, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do that. Depending on what you want to do, if you want clients to set up themselves, then it's just a matter of going here, finding out who's interested in your competition or who's registered on your landing page. We're going to put in here and we're going to use, let's use, who have we got? Jeff. Alright, last name too good. Alright, email address toogood@me.com. Alright, now you've got the choice. You can email the client to fill out their user information, or you can do it now. Alright, now depending on how you're doing your body compositions in the system, I recommend that you do the body compositions in one day or a couple of days or 1 week. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the client now so that when they do come in, or if they're right here in front of me now, I can just plug it in straight away, do their body composition, or look them up straight away and do it. So we're just going to say username is too good and password is, we're just going to be simple good 2. Alright, now they can select that if they want to. You can create a default system, up to you. Make sure you put birthday in there. Alright, measurement preference. Alright, whether you use the metric system or the US system, you have the choice. Gender, male or female. If they are a nursing mother, just default wise in the nutrition, it's going to add an extra 400 calories. Okay, now in terms of them getting set up, alright, or you setting them up, you'll see here that you've got a whole lot of different steps that they'll need to tick off and fill in to be able to get themselves set up. It all depends on what modules you want them to have access to, but I'm going to keep things simple, like I said before, and they're only going to have nutrition and competition. So I'm going to uncheck all menu options. Yes, they need a body composition as a default, alright. What we also need to have as a default is nutritional favorites, nutrition program. Everything else here, experience and goals would be good to know, and what their weight loss goals would be good to know as well. Message preferences, yes and no, and we want them to be able to put up a before and after photo. So we're going to click save. It's going to take us to the next step. Alright, always agree. It's just easier that way for the system. Alright, now you'll see here everything that we ticked before in default are the steps now that are here. If we hadn't selected as many, or if we selected more, that would then affect what appears here. Okay, for your clients to be able to have access to the nutrition part of things, a body composition has to be done. Alright, now I would recommend 100% that you do this yourselves. Get a lot more familiar with the system. The best part about this system I've found compared to doing calipers and everything else is it's very consistent. So whether or not you agree 100% with it, like scales, like anything else, the more consistent they are, the better the measuring tool it is to be able to give feedback to your clients. So if I click here, it's going to give you examples of where the measurements should be taken and what things you should be aware of. Alright, the most important thing I would say overall with this entire system is making sure that there is a difference in the ratio between navel and waist. So unless somebody is a complete brick, so they're straight down from middle all the way through to their hips, most of the time you're going to find that waist will be more narrow than navel. Navel needs to be the widest point around their midsection. Alright, waist needs to be the most narrow point around the section. If you keep those ratios there, you'll find that you'll always get a consistent result. Okay, so clients put in their information. Make sure again birthday's right. Make sure male or female is selected because that's going to affect the ratios in the calculation too. Hit save. That's going to take them to the next step. So it's just a matter of taking them through this steps here. Alright, once you've done that, alright, literally they can just go finish steps. And it'll say, you know, getting started tips. If you need to watch a video here, you guys are welcome to do that. It just prompts you with some of the things you need to do. Click here to continue. Now that client will be set up. Now, if they don't have their user information because you set them up yourself, what you need to do now is click on Jeff. Too good. I'm going to go into his user information. Alright, now you'll see here I can double check the email if I want to. I'm going to go send username and password via email. So now I'm going to send that. It's going to tell me username and password email sent. So your client now is going to receive an email, and it will say it's from real life with their information so that they can then log on either to your website or wherever you're sending them to log on, and they can start using the system. So if I go back to Jeff's member homepage, when he then logs onto the system, he's going to end up seeing this page right here. Alright, now in order to be able to do his nutrition and everything else, remember he needed to do his body composition, which we haven't done. Alright, but you'll see here he's got access to the points. Okay, so Jeff's set up now. Let's say you've set everybody else up to the point where they've done their body composition, they've finalized their steps, they've put in their weight loss goals, they've done all of that. What you now need to do, alright, I'm going to go back to my admin dashboard, which is the same thing that you guys can do. I need to make sure that everybody's put into a competition. Alright, so if I go, at the moment it's sitting in advanced features, but it will be sitting in MiniMe. If I go advanced features, you'll see here you've got the option for competitions. With a competition, now that everyone's been entered and you have all their information, usernames and everything else within the system. Alright, now it's taking a while to load because I have a massive competition on at the moment with 165 people in it, so it tends to be a little bit on the slow side because it has to read that many people's information. Okay, with the competition, you'll see here by default, alright, the competition I've got at the moment, alright, we've got body fat percentage, total change, all the things that are highlighted here. Alright, if I wanted to edit it, it'd come up darker. Everyone who's selected within the competition comes up, so I'll show you down the bottom in a second. In terms of what we track, there's 70 different options here of things that you can decide to track within your competition. Once you've chosen those things, you'll see here the results. So we got body composition, percentage, fat, total change. Alright, not everyone from this weekend's finished their body comp, so results will be varied, but you'll see here it tracks this for them, and they have access to see this too. So they can see how they've gone in terms of where they started, where they've ended, what the total change was, and what the percentage change was. And then that works exactly the same way. You can see we got a lot of people in this month's competition. Body composition, percentage of fat change, so same thing, it ranks everything, lets people know how they've gone. So you've got the visual graph. Alright, total weight change, same thing. What do we have before there? We've got total weight percentage change. And then I think this one's total measurement change. So it lets us know, alright, what their starting value was in total centimeters, ending, and how many centimeters total did they lose, and what percentage was that as a change. Percentage just keeps things a little bit fairer, and that's how we like to track things. So as a comp, you can see on there that it's pretty detailed, and we love the fact that everybody can see how they're going and how they're ranking within the competition. In order to get that set up, it's literally just a matter of going add new, select the date range, so when your competition starts to when it finishes. All you need to make sure with the start date, and it's really important you do this, that the start date is when you started doing body compositions, because if somebody did a body composition before your start date and you've then entered them into a contest, their result is not going to count because it was before the date that you selected. So sometimes I'll select a date 2 weeks before the competition even started, just so it covers all the body compositions that were done before the start date. Alright, and then the end date, same thing, maybe allow for a couple of days to finish your body compositions in case people can't make your final day weigh-ins or anything else, and they need a couple of days to do that. Okay? Once that's done, your competition parameters are selected, everybody's into the competition, it's just then a matter of seeing how they go. Alright, now if I go back to manage clients and staff, the way that you can now track and see that clients are set up and doing things properly is, let's click on a client. So I'm going to click on Justine. I can do a quick search. Justine's going to come up here. If I just wanted to update her body composition, I can click on that right now and it'll take me straight to her body composition. If I want to log in as her, I'm going to log in as her and go to a member homepage, and now I am logged in as Justine. So on here you can see if she decided to do a points today, she can just tick these things. Alright, if she missed yesterday and she didn't do yesterday, she can now click on here. Whoops, sorry, that's just like the point. She can click on here and go back to whatever day she wanted to do. Obviously they just can't do it in advance because it wouldn't be fair. Okay, nutrition program wise, alright, when they get to the point where they have to set up themselves, alright, I've created a defined food plan, so it's up to you what you want to do. If you want them to have access to all 16,000 recipes and do it all that way, you can, no problem at all. Now see the little warning up here, you have not included cardio program. Now I haven't included cardio program, remember, because for this comp it's only 28 days. I don't want them to have access to the cardio. I just want to keep things simple so that they get set up simply. So I'm just going to bypass the warning. I don't need to worry about it. Okay. Here, predefined food week. If you don't want a predefined food week, you don't have to. Alright, now by default, some of you might not have access to this now. If you want to have access to a predefined food week like I've created, let me know and I can hook you up with it. Suggest my week. All the predefined food week is, I've created a mini-me week. Alright, and now I'm going to suggest my week based on that food week. I created a whole lot of recipes that I wanted them to only have access to, so that they didn't waste time looking through so many recipes. It was just breakfast, these are your choices, snacks, lunch, afternoon snack, and dinner. These are the only options that I want you to have access to. Now it takes a little bit of time to build, because obviously it's going through all the recipes, planning out the week, putting everything in there for them, and then as a client they can then suddenly start to edit and play and start learning how to structure a good nutritional day based on their macronutrients rather than on guessing. So on their page you can see here, and this is the tool I like the most, is what their macronutrients work out to be for the day. So obviously it has a target here. Now that target is based on what they selected as a weight loss goal. So if they selected to lose half a kilo a week, or 2 pounds a week, if they selected to lose 1 kilo a week, or 4.5, 5 pounds a week, that will then determine what default targets are there. Alright, what I do with all my clients and when I run contests is I let them know where I would like their actual to be each day. So, like fats, for example, here are only 14 grams. That's pretty low. I normally tell my contestants that they can go up to 30 grams as long as it's healthy fats like avocado, oils, nuts, things like that. Alright, if they're doing a lot of exercise, obviously 1200 calories is not going to be enough because they'll be weight loss deficit, therefore not maintaining lean muscle mass, as we all know. Okay, now the reason why things are easier here, they can go down here and click on anything and a recipe will pop up explaining how to do it, what the servings are, and even if you wanted to find out what the micronutrients are in each thing, you can click on it and it will tell you. But let's say, for example, here carbs are pretty high. Let's say I want to get my carbs down, so I'm going to have a look and see. At the moment, probably the rice cakes I could change. So I'm going to click on Mini-Me Week rather than anything else, and that just means that they have to choose something out of the options in my predefined food week. It'll come up here. The great thing is now they can see, alright, what options here can I choose for lunch? They're going to be high in protein, but not too high in carbohydrates. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, look, pretty good. I'm going to go with the stir-fried beef salad or chicken stir-fry. So let's go with that. It's carbohydrates only 6 grams. Protein's up at 27. Alright, now you'll see here for lunch, rather than having the rice cakes, it replaced it with the basic Asian chicken stir fry. If they want to see the recipe, they click on it, it shows them the recipe. Now if I go back up here, suddenly my carbs have come down to 148, my protein's about the same as it was before, fats have come up a little bit, so they can start playing. My calories have dropped though, so I need to keep an eye on that. So now suddenly as a client, I'm learning how to put together a day. I'm trying to see what meal options I'm happy to go with that then balance what I need in terms of, my daily intake. Okay? If they create a day that they like, they have the choice then to copy that day for any day in the next week or so. So that way, like we all do, we're creatures of habit. If they have, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm at work, those are the days it's easiest for me to do this type of a food day. They can copy that and it's all done by default. Okay? Now, once they've done all of this, and let's say they've gone up here and they've built their entire week. Alright, once they've built their entire week, it's just a matter then for them of going in and going, okay, I've finished my whole week. I'm happy with what I've chosen. If they need to come and edit it, they can at any stage. But I want to print my grocery list. So you're going to go over to grocery list. Over here, you can choose what day. So they have the choice. They've got here the breakdown of things. If some of their units of measure aren't what you're used to, it's because there's two databases merged here. There's the US and Canadian database as well as the Australian database. So not all the measurements are the same. Most of my clients don't have an issue. It's just a matter of them getting an app on their iPhone or doing a quick conversion, and even some scales do conversions for you. Once they've got that, they click print and they've got their grocery list. If for some reason the print doesn't work, it's because of the browser sometimes. It's just a matter of going up like you normally would, file and print page. Okay, so in terms of them getting set up, that's what they should be spending their time on. Alright, now if I want to see how a client is going and I don't want to go through their whole page, I'm going to go to nutrition tracking and it's going to let me know on the whole whether or not they're too high in one thing versus the other. So let's say I wanted them to be around 1600 calories. I can see here that, for the last few weeks, their calories have been a lot lower than that. So their target was, up around 1600, 1400, but they've been down around 12. So there's too many days here with a calorie deficit. All right. Same with fats, carbs, and protein. So you can break that all down and see how they've been tracking. If they want to see how they're going in a competition, they can click on here, and once again it'll take a little bit of time, but it will take them back to that competition page that they were on, that I was showing you guys before, that lets them know where they were ranking with everything. Okay, so in terms of setup, hopefully that gives you a good idea of what you're looking at. Like I said, in the setup email, there's an email that sends them back to this page and takes them through their final steps. So make sure you have a look at that video so that you're clear on what final steps they need to set up. Once they're using the system, all you need to do is help them, with any questions they might have, or every now and then make sure you're checking and seeing whether their ratios are where they need to be. If I go back to member homepage, you'll now see that the food week that we built should be sitting in there. So if they need to edit anything, they can literally edit it straight from that page. My internet is playing up now. Let's head back to admin, see if internet will work there. Any other questions with how to get things set up, or in terms of the system, or if you're not sure what modules you want to be using, what I would do before you launch any contest or competition is take yourself, set yourself up on the system, or a friend or a client, and take them through the entire process. So take them through all the setups options that you've got, so that you can then see what steps need to be done and how they work. Alright, it'll take you half an hour to go through the whole thing. Then if you want them to be using weight training, have it there. If you want them to be using nutrition or cardio or anything like that, take yourself through the steps. My recommendation is, if it's a 12-week contest, give them access to everything. If it's an 8-week, your call. If it's a 28-day, I wouldn't give them access to anything except the nutrition, because of time. You want them to be set up and done within a day or an hour, if anything, so that they're ready to go come the first Monday. Their food's planned, done, they're in their session, so that you guys don't have to worry about any of that. Good luck with the setup. Like I said, I'm going to be on email, just adam@higherlevel.com.au, and if you have any questions, hit me up and I'll take you through it. Happy to do a go-to meeting and make sure that you're clear on all the steps that you need to do. But otherwise, if you're not using things, guys, get set up as quickly as you can. If you are, hopefully that helps make things a little bit clearer in terms of the steps that you need to go through. I'm sorry about my internet in the end there, but I'm pretty sure I've taken you through everything that you now need to go ahead and plug this in and start making some money off it, especially while it's free. Good luck.